Good morning and hello. We're on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. And we're going to jump right in and get started because it says round each number to the nearest 10 and to the nearest 100. And I'm going to let Miss Walker take over for a minute here.
Okay, well, it looks like we are going to be rounding the number 35 to the nearest 10. I like to do all of my tens first and then go back and do all of my hundreds next. So on rounding to the nearest 10, I need to find the tens place, and I'm going to look next door at my bully. My bully is 5. If he is a 5, he is big enough. He will lift me up to a 4. And whatever happens to that old bully?
Nothing.
Nothing ever happens to that old bully. And we end up with 40. We're going to look for the tens place in these other two numbers as well. And look at their bullies. I see a 5 in both of them. And so I am going to be able to lift. He's going to lift me to a 9. Nothing ever happens to that old bully. And what happens to my friend? I stand up and protect him. 390. And then again, he's big enough. He lifts me to a 6. But I protected my friend, and nothing ever happens to that old bully. Go ahead, Miss Pal.
I like your bully method, so I'm like listening to you. So I'm like, we talked about it too. We say 5 or above gives them a shove, or 4 or less lets them rest. But class, if Miss Powell's class, you need to listen to the bully one. That is a very, very good way to remember it.
All right, so we're going to round to the nearest 100. We're going to find the hundreds place. It's imaginary. There is no hundreds place, but there is always a placeholder there, which is the number 0. And so I'm going to look at my bully. This time he is a 3. He's not big enough. He leaves me alone, which means I'm the same. Nothing ever happens to that old bully, and nothing ever happens to his friend. So it's closer to 35 than 100, and that's perfectly. It's closer to 0 than it is 100, and that's perfectly acceptable to have an answer that's closer to 0. Again, we're still rounding to the nearest 100. We find that hundreds place. And look at that bully. 8. Yep, he's big enough. What's he going to do? Shove me up. He shoves me up to a 4. Nothing ever happens to that old bully, and nothing ever happens to his friends. We are at 400. And then lastly, we are at 555. Here's my hundreds place. My 5 is big enough. He's going to lift me up to a 6. And nothing ever happens to him or his friend.
600.
600. I'll let you take over with the next one.
Okay, there are 24 students in Mrs. Crawford's 3rd grade class. She wants to arrange her students' desk in groups of 3s. How many will she make? If we're putting them into groups, what operation are we going to use if we're going to put them into groups?
Groups of
3. So let's think. How would we have? Our total number is 24. And we're looking to put them into groups of 3. So how would we group them? If we're grouping or dividing, we're going to divide them. So we have 24 divided by 3. We talk about doing backwards multiplication. So we could say, what times 3 is 24? And we would come up with 8.
I ate 3 meals in
24 hours. So if we do that, she's going to have 8 groups of 3. So
8 groups.
Groups in each. For our students, 8. There'll be 8 in each of the 3 students in each of the groups.
All right, the quotient. There's our key word. What does quotient mean?
It means to divide.
Divide some number times 7 equals 70. It's backwards multiplication. What number times 7 equals 70?
10.
10. That 0 is our big clue right there. 7 beetles, 6 legs, walking to the zoo. How many legs?
42.
Some number times 11 equals 110. 11 times, there's that 0 again.
10.
10. And went to the store, bought a Nintendo 64. 8 and
8.
Went to the store. We're going to find the area. Uh-oh, Miss Powell. There isn't a rectangle.
So we're going to have to, what I'd like to do on this, we could divide it up, but since we already have our units marked out for us, we can just count them, make it easy.
We already have squares in there, so there's no need. We could divide it up, but it's not gonna do anything for us.
No. So let's talk about just counting the squares. I like to mark where I counted, start from, so we can count them. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
24 units.
Squared.
Square. We counted squares. All right. We are going to go from greatest to least. It says leastest. That does not make sense.
No.
Ignore that. Greatest to least. And so what do we know about the word greatest?
It means the biggest, the largest.
Big one, and least means
the small one.
Where should we start?
We should start in our thousands place.
1, 1, 1.
Oh no, they're all the same. So where do we go next?
Nothing. We're going to go to the hundreds. 4, 5, 5.
Up. I see that we can move our 1,456 to the smallest because it is, get it out of the way, and we'll just have 2 numbers to work with.
And the smallest goes last in this case. It wants it last. So we're going to put it down here, 1,456, and let's quit worrying about it.
Now we're going to have to go to our tens place.
I see a 6 and a 4.
And 6 is larger than 4, so that's going to be our first number.
Right, 1,564, 1,546, and our least number was 1,400.
And they're all even numbers. Look, they're all even numbers.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? 0. There's your even chant.
Okay, there are 8 slices of pizza. Joe ate 2 slices of pizza, and Chris ate 3 slices of pizza. Or 3 slices. What fraction of the pizza did they eat all together?
Ooh, there's that all together word again. That usually means to add. So how many pieces did they eat all together? They had 3 and 2, which is
5.
5 pieces out of, how many pieces were there all, total?
8. And that is our denominator. Denominator is the total number of pieces.
Right. So they ate 5 out of the 8 slices. We're going to skip past this is from yesterday, and we're going to come on down here to the fewest coins possible. Remember your chart. You have to start with your quarters,
25.
dimes, nickels, then pennies. Quarters were
25.
Dimes are
10.
Nickels are
Pennies.
5.
I'm tied.
And pennies are
1.
Miss Powell, before we start here, let's go ahead and inform your students. We cannot use a $50. We are
okay, she did not allow that today. Sorry.
No, but in real life, if you happen to have a $50, of course, you could use that and you would have less coins, wouldn't you?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to make 76 cents. We need to fit 76 cents into our chart here, starting with quarters. How many quarters can I fit into 76 cents?
3.
3. 25, 50, 75. I am up to 75 cents. Can I fit any dimes?
Nope.
Nickels?
Nope.
Pennies?
1 penny.
1 penny brings me to 76 cents. How many coins did we use?
We used 4.
4 coins is the fewest coins possible. But for those of you in Miss Powell's class, if you did have a $50, you would simply trade it for 2 of your quarters, and that would give you 3 coins. You would have 1 quarter, 1 $50, and 1 penny.
What is the most amount of coins you could have?
Oh, I would go with pennies. Definitely. So it would be how many pennies, Ms. Powell?
76 pennies.
I don't want to carry around that much change. All right, guys, that is it for today. If you'll look below this link, you'll find your assignment for Tuesday, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Bye-bye.